AFTV Sheroy, we got the job done. 1-0 away to Leeds, another clean sheet away, but we made hard work of it.
Yeah, very much so. 1-0 to the Arsenal does not tell the full story today.
Yeah.
I feel like I just watched a feature-length film because we had a 45-minute delay at the beginning and that match felt like it took an age to finish. Then we get into added time and then we have the penalty and the red card. It took a lot out of me. But looking at it again, before the match I thought it ought to have been quite a comfortable game. But looking at it objectively, Leeds needed the win. They're on 9 points now, 1 point off the drop zone if I'm not mistaken. They hadn't had a win at home this season, if I'm not mistaken.
At Chelsea they beat 3-0, okay. But they haven't won since that game.
Other than that, so that's in the last 5. So look, I guess we did well to leave there with the 3 points, but that for me is one of the luckiest wins I can remember in recent history for Arsenal.
What do you put it down to?
It's sort of inexplicable because Leeds played well in moments, but it was so uncharacteristic because we were wasteful in possession, particularly in transition. Mm-hmm. There were so many times where the ball gets to our midfield and we're either holding onto it too long or running into traffic and
turning the wrong way. And
exactly. But the beginning of the first half, I think that's to be expected when you're away from home, on the road. But then we grew into the game quite nicely. Gave the ball to Martinelli, gave the ball to Saka. Odegaard looked good in moments, had a wonderful assist, a rifle of a finish from Saka. And from that point, I'm thinking, okay, we've weathered the storm. We're going to kick on, and our quality is really going to tell. Second half starts, and it's a complete implosion. I don't know whether it's because of the whole Thursday-Sunday thing and the boys were tired, but again, there were just so many mistakes from people that I wouldn't expect them from. I know that a lot of people are going to be talking about Gabriel, but look, there weren't many people that didn't make horrible errors in that second half. You can look at Saliba for the penalty. We got a bit of life there. Mm-hmm. I mean, needless to keep your arm out there, and he knew it was a penalty straight away. People aren't talking about it because the penalty was missed, but I also feel like there might be an element of people not talking about it because it's Saliba.
Yeah, protect the star.
That's the thing. So I think it's unfair to just constantly shine the spotlight on Gabriel. That being said, he shouldn't really have given the referee a decision to make towards the end there. There was an element of naivety. But I love the fact that the 30-year-old Granit Xhaka is now coming up to him, the voice of reason, trying to steady the ship, ensuring that we take the sting out of it. And actually, Granit Xhaka's performance on the ball, on the pitch today as well, was definitely one that was worth a mention. I'm loving to see the man that he's growing into. He says it himself. He says, look, I'm so glad that I get to show you this version of Granit Xhaka because I always knew it was there. And look, I'm glad that we get to see it too.
Yeah, and I mean, look at Saka first half, brilliant goal. For me, it came out of nowhere because it looked like a heavy pass from Odegaard, but he took it in his stride, weaker foot, buried it. Another goal in the last couple of weeks. He's really kind of kicked on in terms of his productivity. Went under the radar initially, Martinelli and Jesus stealing the show early on. But we welcome that as fans. Now it's Saka's turn. What do you make of Saka? All round probably a quiet game, but in terms of what he brings, Strickler said he's becoming a match winner. Do you see that now?
Yeah, I mean, I know his numbers aren't the same and he's not as prolific, but what do people say about Erling Haaland? They don't really care that he may only have 5 or 6 touches in a game if he scores the winning goal, right? And I think you can apply the same logic across the board. If Bukayo Saka's not overly involved in a game, but he is the difference maker, then he ought to be getting credit for that, particularly in a game where Jesus clearly isn't at his best for one reason or another today. He doesn't affect the game very much. You want someone else in your front three to do it because it can't always be Gabriel Jesus, and that's what I like. We have Odegaard with another wonderful assist. We have Martinelli being a bit of a menace in the first half. We have Saka with an unpredictable finish. I think a lot of people thought he might want to cut back there, and he just takes the goalkeeper by surprise, puts the ball in the back of the net. So the reality is everyone respects Bukayo Saka. I think every defence fears Bukayo Saka, and he's doing what we all know he's capable of.
Looking at the performance, because of the way we started the season, where we are in the league, listen, I've been pessimistic at the best of times over the years, but I just want to brush this one away, similar to the Boulder one, brush it away, because I feel like even elite teams need luck, they need to grind it out, and sometimes they look back at a game and think, how did we walk away with the 3 points? So I'll take the positives there, but does it worry you at all, or is it one that you brush off your shoulder, move on to Southampton away with maybe the same confidence you've had in the last few weeks?
I can't say it's not concerning, but I don't think it's going to be indicative of the next run of games. I completely understand why people would be worried. I'm worried too, particularly because a lot of us thought this was going to be a comfortable result. But think about what it would have done to our confidence if that red card stood, or it was a 1-1, or we did in fact lose. That bubble would have been burst, but that didn't happen. 27 from 30 points. Just think about that for a minute. That's 9 wins out of 10. I saw on Twitter right now, I haven't fact checked it yet, but apparently that's the first time we've done that as Arsenal Football Club since 1903. Nice. 9 wins out of 10, and the reality is, I understand that people don't necessarily want to talk about us as title contenders, and I'm not doing it either, but notwithstanding all of that, 9 wins out of 10 is relatively special. If this was Liverpool or this was Man City, people would be saying, looking at the standards these people are setting, only these teams are capable of going on a run like this.
Yeah.
But the reality is we've done it. And if we can keep doing that, even in games where we're not imprinting our philosophy, because I mean today, look, we weren't pretty for the vast majority of the game. I think we put together 2 decent moves.
Yeah.
One, Jesus probably should have done a bit better with the finish, and the other was the one for the goal. But if we're keeping clean sheets and grinding out results like that, and that's coupled with the vast majority of the performance we put forward, look, it's a season for optimism. It's a season for optimism, and the only real shout out I want to give for an individual player is Aaron Ramsdale today.
Yeah.
You know, this is 2 games in a row where we have a man of the match as our goalkeeper. And I'm not even trying to be funny, he really did put his whole body on the line today, and no one can tell me that Aaron Ramsdale doesn't have balls because he used both of them to give us that clean sheet, and we only got out of there with the 3 points because of him, so massive credit to him. And I love the fact that he was a talisman as well when those around him were making mistakes. He wasn't letting them go just because they got away with it. He was giving it to them. Granit Xhaka was doing the same with Gabriel when he got the red card. You know, that level of accountability and leadership is something we've been crying out for in this dressing room. We have it now, and it's gotten us over the line.
And there's one thing, Ramsdale went into that dressing room after, chuffed with the clean sheet after that second 45 minutes. It was all mad.
Definitely, and even Bukayo Saka after the match, he came out and he admitted that he thinks that we were quite lucky, and he said that, it actually makes the win that much sweeter, and it feels a bit better that it's almost... I can't remember the exact term he used. I think he just said it feels extra special that we came away with the 3 points there, because I know that people say it's cliche, but these are character building away days.
Yeah.
And to come out of there with a clean sheet when you're not playing well must enhance the belief of the group. And I think we could perhaps be witnessing something special.
Come on, Arsenal.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.